Everybody ready?
Lights are ready.
You ready? Good, rolling. Action!
One of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to make a horror film that actually had a whole bunch of, I guess, multicultural people, or I guess I say African Americans in a horror film. I wanted to do something that was just a little bit more serious, and I figured that obviously if I did one, kind of a throwback kind of horror film to like the 80s, where you were, the old Friday the 13th original version, and like the old kind of Halloween kind of films. I thought that that would be a good film that people would enjoy, and that obviously we could do it within the budget. Camp DOA is about a guy named Devin Southern, a young kind of rich pretty boy type in college, and every year he and his friends go out and his dad's a developer, and they go to one of his dad's properties, and when they go to his dad's property they have this real wild debaucherous kind of fun and stuff, basically how it is, sex, alcohol, that kind of stuff. And what happens is this year his dad gets his new place that they've heard about, and they decide to go to his dad's new place. Obviously they don't tell his dad about it, and he brings a whole bunch of college students with him, and he goes out there, and obviously a lot of strange things happen. They awaken the spirit of an age-old kind of evil. I decided to shoot Camp DOA in Alabama because one of the things I'm trying to do is I really want to help increase the film industry in Alabama. You can always go and shoot other places, Los Angeles, which I've worked in that area, New York, DC, Virginia, but they get a lot of movies shot in those kind of areas. And I really want to build the film industry in Alabama, and the only way to do that is if, when we have projects, especially, being from Alabama, if we shoot our projects here. Tanny Hill was just the perfect place in that it had wide open spaces, but it had woods, it had cabins that looked like mountain cabins. A lot of the different locations you look at, they are really modern, and they're up to date, and that's a problem if you're trying to have a rustic feel and you want it to seem like in the film this place was supposed to be a place that hadn't been developed yet, and it was getting ready to be developed. So we didn't want some place that already looked modern. I really wanted like a really rustic cabin and an outside kind of feel, because it actually makes it seem more scary if it's not up to date, if it's older. The older kind of stuff is kind of unknown.
You're on the set of Camp DOA. All access granted.
I think with working with Earl, he is a great director. He listens to you. He listens to your ideas, and I love that about him, because a lot of times directors, are kind of, they're kind of just, they don't want to listen to anybody else. I'll just put it nicely. They have their vision, and they really don't want to, they don't see outside that box, and Earl sees outside that box.
I always enjoy working with new people, because when you work with new people, you're giving them a chance to really explore as an actor, especially everybody in the film. Just about, this was the largest role they'd ever had, and especially a large speaking role. My background is an actor. I'm a member of AFTRA and SAG, and I know how it was for me the first time I got a large speaking role. So you get that kind of excitement, and a lot of times new actors are willing to put in the time, the energy, they're willing to try harder, and they're discovering so much about not only themselves and their acting talent, but they're discovering so much about the film process. When it comes to independent film, you have a lot of people being able to expand what they want to do. You have a lot of people being able to put their message out there. And as we support independent film, we get people used to seeing different ideas being expressed, instead of just the commercial monster films that we see nowadays and the other commercial big budget films. So I would hope that people want to see the film because it's an independent film, but also for the reason we talked about earlier, which is getting a chance to see new actors, to see new people develop. Because, you know, a lot of times you see the same actors over and over again because they're marketable, because we know about them. But the discovery of new actors, seeing new directors, new producers, giving people a chance, that kind of discovery is great. And just seeing a different voice on film.
Camp DOA.